Hi, this is Rory King with Custom Computer Detailing in Natchez, Mississippi. That is spelled N-A-T-C-H-E-Z, Mississippi. That's in the United States. My name is Rory King. I have a business. It's called Custom Computer Detailing. It's located in Natchez, Mississippi. My full name is Rory F. King III. My telephone number is 601-870-5372. And I can be reached by email at rfking3@hotmail.com. And as you can see from my business card, I have 20 years experience. I'm a retired U.S. Army E7. I was a 25 Bravo 40, which is a computer software systems analyst supervisor in the Army. I was actually in the Army National Guard for almost 22 years. And this is the back side of my card. So, this evening I want to showcase Dell E-Series docking stations. Now in front of you is a Dell Latitude E-6420 laptop. Now this laptop is a very nice laptop. The government likes to purchase these over-the-top laptops. The U.S. government does. And they spend a lot more money than you or I would spend for this computer if it was in an Office Depot or Office Max or Best Buy. Most of us wouldn't spend what our government willingly spends all day, every day on computers and other devices. All right, this computer is configured with Windows 10 64-bit, and I'm not really going to talk that much about the computer. This evening I want to showcase something completely different. Now on the bottom of this laptop, if we can zoom in, on the bottom of that laptop, there's a Dell E-Series Docking Station port. That is what I want to specifically talk about in this video. So this right here is where, if you had a docking station, you would plug this computer up and you would connect it here to the docking station. These are little alignment holes here and here to help you line it up so this thing doesn't get all beat up when it's trying to connect. So these holes would make connection first, the little plungers would go in, and then this would properly seat. Okay? So that is the bottom of a Dell E-Series, Dell Latitude E-6420 laptop. So I'm going to rotate the computer back up, put it back up on its front. Now I do want to emphasize that for this to work properly, the computer has to be also configured properly, which means that when you go into the power settings, and on this one I have Classic Shell installed, so when I click over here, instead of getting the tiles page, I get the typical Windows 7 pop-up box, in case you're wondering what's going on there, since I said I had a Windows 10 computer here. All right, so I'm going to go into Control Panel, and I'm going to come over here to where the power settings are. Power Options. Right there. So that is going to be Control Panel, Power Options. All right, so it pops up to the Power Options page. And the main thing that I want to do is I want to choose what closing the lid does. I need to make some changes there. And the changes have actually already been made in this computer, but I just want to show you the process. So I told it to change what happens if I close this lid. And basically, if it's running on the battery as it is now, it's just going to go to sleep, which is kind of like hibernation mode. But if it's plugged up, whether it's plugged up in the back here directly to a power adapter, or if it's sitting in a docking station port, if it's sitting in that docking station port and I close that lid right there, when I close that lid, it does nothing. So closing the lid does absolutely nothing provided it is plugged into power. The same is true is if I press the sleep button, which is the power button, just briefly, just press it one time. You can make the computer normally go into sleep mode or hibernation mode. In this case, it does nothing, okay? Because I told it to do nothing. All right, the last thing is when I press the power button, what does it do? It shuts down. So I made some changes in that setting right there. So getting out of the power options setting. And once you make those changes, you have to hit apply down here in the bottom, I believe. So in case you have a Dell E-Series laptop and you get a Dell E-Series docking station, That is one of the things you're going to have to do to make this work. Okay? All right, I'm going to need to try not to break anything here. All right, coming over here, this is a Dell E-Series docking station port, a port receptacle. This is a Dell Dell Pro2x, a Dell Pro2x docking station. So this connection right here, this is the E-Series docking station connections. So all those tiny little connections right there, there's a bunch of them. If I can get the zoom just right. There's a whole bunch of little leads right there. It's not just one solid piece of copper. So you can barely see that there's a bunch of different little leads there. Each one of those little contacts does something. And these little things here, these are just little springs. And then these big plungers right here, these don't move at all. These are fixed. These are gonna, there's some holes on the bottom of the laptop that these are gonna fall into. So as you're trying to line this up, all you gotta do is set the laptop on here and adjust it left and right. And when it finds these two holes, it's gonna seat. And all you have to do is just apply a little bit of pressure and press it down. These two springs that go down here, and it will make connection right here. Okay, so we're gonna do that. And before I actually set the laptop on there, I want to show you a few things that are connected to this computer. All right, I have two desktop monitors. And they look similar, but unfortunately one is a little bit bigger than the other. That's really not a problem, but it does look a little weird. This is a 20-inch monitor, more in landscape mode. This is more of a this is a 19-inch monitor that's more in the older style, more square type monitor layout, aspect ratio. So, and both of them have speakers on the bottom. This one has a built-in speaker, this one has a built-in speaker. So we want to take advantage of that. So I went to Walmart and I bought this for $4 and change. $4 and a quarter, I think it was. And it's already connected. It's just a little Y cable. So this is the Y cable right here. This is one end of it. And the other end just plugs into my docking station. So it's just a 3.5 millimeter stereo plug. It's going to plug right in there to the top port. The top port is where the speakers plug in. The bottom port would be where a microphone would plug in if you had a microphone. So we're going to plug that back in. All right. The next two things I want to point out. All right, this USB cable here, this is going to the mouse. The bottom one is going to the keyboard. So a full-size desktop keyboard, full-size desktop mouse. And notice the wires are kind of crazy right now. This is just for demonstration purposes. This is a temporary setup. So if this was at your home and you were crazy about hiding wires, by all means get the wire ties out and, you know, zip tie as much of that wire and hide it as best possible. This is just for demonstration purposes. Notice that I've got, you know, my power connections aren't necessarily in the best places, so I'm going everywhere with wire. Each of these other connectors back here, there's two additional USB connections. Actually, there's only one setup right now. Let me see. I think that's correct. So there's one additional USB wire right here. That is going to, I believe, this second computer monitor. That monitor has additional places on it for USB connections. So there's two here. There's two on the bottom. On the bottom where all these other wires are, there's two additional USB ports. So this, just the monitor in and of itself, has 4 additional USB ports on it. So it's like a USB docking station built into the monitor. But in order for those to be active in terms of having a data connection to the computer, the monitor has to be connected to the docking station or directly to the computer via a USB cable. And that is the USB cable right there going to the first monitor. Now that, just for reference purposes, that's the same type of USB cable that you would connect to a normal printer. So it's just a printer type USB cable. So one side is the normal looking USBs and the other side is the barn shaped connection. All right. So keyboard and mouse and one USB data connection going to the 4 USB ports on that monitor there. All right. This black wire is a DVI video output cable or input cable, depending on how you want to look at it. In this case here, it's an output cable. It is going to this first monitor. The white one is another DVI video cable. It is going to this second monitor. So everything is already pre-wired. So why would we want to do this? Actually, let me show you one other thing. I have here is a 90-watt Dell original power adapter for the laptop. So this would stay with the laptop bag. This would stay in this little pocket with the laptop bag. So I'm 55 years old, but let's just say I was back in college and I needed to transport this laptop to school with me. Well, I'm going to carry it in a laptop bag for extra protection, and I'm going to take my power adapter with me in case my battery runs down during the course of the day, so I can plug it back up and still be functional. Now, this power adapter came with this docking station. And whereas this one, which is the mobile power adapter, is only 90 watts, this power adapter is a different model Dell power adapter. It is reportedly, based on the information at the time that I ordered it, is a 140 watt power supply. So it has 50 additional watts supplying this this Dell docking station, and that's could be important. So you don't want this thing to be underpowered. It's doing additional things other than just powering the laptop. It is also making connections to the other monitors. It's making data connections. It's making audio connections. It's doing all kinds of stuff. Oh, also, I think I failed to mention that this 3.5 millimeter audio plug, because it has a splitter on it, I have one side going to the speaker on the first monitor and one side going to the speaker on the second monitor. So just because this particular monitor configuration has two sets of speakers, I didn't want to throw one of the speakers in the ditch because I only had the one individual input on the docking station. I wanted both sets of speakers working. So getting back to our original question, why in the world would we want to use a Dell docking station? Okay, first of all, that laptop right there is fully functional. If I put my finger on there, we can see that the mouse is moving. You know, everything about that laptop is completely mobile. It's a fully functional laptop. But say, you know, after working at school, we get home and, you know, our eyes are tired, or we'd like to look at it with a bigger screen and use a full-size keyboard and a regular mouse, or you could even have a wireless keyboard mouse combo. Anyway, say you want to get away from the smaller size and go up full size. You want this to be your desktop replacement. Well, let me show you something. If I close this lid, and remember we've already changed the power options, what happens when the lid closes? Nothing. So I close the lid. Notice that the little power light stayed on. It's still running inside. If I open the lid back up, it's still going to be running. All right. Notice that the monitors are dead. Nothing's on other than they do indicate they have power. Okay. So I'm going to put this on my Dell docking station. I'm going to put this on my Dell docking station. All I have to do is set it on and wiggle it around until I feel it fall in the little holes there, the alignment holes. and apply just a little bit of pressure. Notice that the power light came on and the release button light came on. And over here on the monitors, give it just a second. Here they come. So I had to play with it for a second. They were being hesitant. All right, so now I have both screens are working. If I come over here and open up a browser like Microsoft Edge, if for some reason I'm working, say, on a research paper, and I'm doing my research on one screen and I'm doing actually typing my paper on the second screen, I can actually drag that across to the second screen. Let's make it full screen. So I can actually be browsing the internet on one monitor, and I can open up my paper, my Word document, and I can actually start typing my paper as I'm finding the information. I can be importing information and my references into my paper. So for anybody that's a college student and has had to write MLA or APA format papers, this could make a world of difference, make your job so much easier when you get ready to write those papers. And there's a lot of other instances where you might want to use both screens. You may have YouTube up on this page and you're watching YouTube videos or you're watching Netflix, but while you're doing that, you're also surfing on the internet. So you can kind of be glancing back and forth between your two screens, and everything's working on both screens. Let's play a quick video just to test the speakers. So I've actually got a video that's in my miscellaneous gift documents folder. Miscellaneous gift. All right. This is
here to perform for the first time on television his song "Better Than I Used to Be" from his upcoming CD "Emotional Traffic." Please give it up for the fabulous.
Basically, I have stereo speakers. I have speakers here and I have speakers here because I'm using this audio splitter cable over here. Both sets of speakers are connected. All right. Now, these Dell docking stations, you can get them online with the 140 watt power supply. They can be purchased for about $80, give or take, depending on who the vendor is. I like this setup. These are excellent laptops, particularly this Dell E-Series E6420. It is an excellent Intel i7 8-thread processor laptop. And when you add a docking station for $50 to $80 more, you create a desktop replacement. So that is pretty much all I'm going to say about that. And also, because you have the 140 watt power supply, this always stays plugged into your dock, and this secondary power supply always stays with your laptop bag. So you're never in a pinch where, oh, I forgot and left my power supply plugged into my dock, and you get to steal a new battery instead on your laptop. So you're always going to have this one mobile with your laptop bag, and then the secondary power supply, the higher output one, is always going to be plugged into your dock. And then when you get ready to release your computer from the dock, there is a release button right here. All you have to do is press it. When you do, notice the screens went black, and it's on a little bit of a slant. It's not the best counter to be doing this demonstration on, but the laptop is released. If I open it up, it is still functional. And then if I need to shut it off, I just shut it off manually. And by the way, this particular laptop, in case I've got any haters out there talking about how I'm banging the laptop around, I'm going to damage the hard drive. It's got a solid state hard drive in it, so it is not going to be damaged from the vibration. So if I want to shut it down, all I have to do is shut it down. If I'm taking it to school or to work or wherever I'm taking it, once it's completely shut off, I can close it and set it inside the laptop bag. All right, if anybody has any questions, they're welcome to contact me either by email or telephone or text messages. I live in the United States. I'm probably not going to reply to you by text messages if you're living outside the country. But if you have any questions, you're welcome to email me. And if you live in the United States, you're welcome to call me. I am Roy F. King III, Custom Computer Detailing in Natchez, Mississippi. My telephone number is 601-870-5372. And my email address is rfking3@hotmail.com. Thank you very much. Excellent options if you have an E-Series laptop to get the docking station. And everybody have a great day.